Alright, we're ready to go? What's up? I'm VV. This is gonna be Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, Japanese audio 1. Cool, so thanks to everyone who donated for Japanese audio. So, to explain the audio thing, in this game if you hold L or R when you, press the button here, you can activate Japanese voices, or English voices if you're playing on the Japanese version. So I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get the showtime. And I will delete that file. Gotta have the value file name. And it's kinda tradition for me now to try and draw a smiley face on the touch screen. This is a lot harder than it seems because I'm doing it with my thumb on a DS Fat. So, bear with me, but here we go. Alright, eyes are looking decent. Okay, that's not a bad smiley face. I'd say we're pretty in there. So we're ready on time. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, this is Castlevania Portrait of Ruin Noah OoB. This is my first time running this at a marathon, so that's pretty exciting. Right off the bat, I unequipped the Vampire Killer Whip because it sucks and you never want to use it. And coming up is going to be the first trick. It's called a partner jump. You're going to see it a lot throughout early game. Oh, hold it. Basically, in this game, you can make your partner jump by touching the touchscreen, and if you do a switch while you're in midair, there's a small window where you can jump out of it. Coming up here, I'm going to be doing something where I attack and then switch characters. I guess I should talk about that. The main gimmick of this Castlevania is that you can switch between two characters pretty much instantly. Jonathan and Charlotte in this mode. So here I'm switching to cancel my attacks and destroy these pillars a bit faster. You're gonna see a lot of switching throughout this run. A lot of the time when I switch, it's because I'm trying to cancel some sort of animation. There's going to be a main type of switching that you'll see coming up in a bit, but there's a lot of other switches that are for canceling animations. Because whenever you switch, you're put automatically in the standing state, which you can act out of immediately. So it's generally pretty fast. First shop visit here. I bought castle map and darts. I'm also going to do a safety save. You need castle map and a potion in your inventory to clear that quest, and that quest gives you the ability to slide, which will lead to slide switching, which is the main move and tech you're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the run. And yes, they do say their names every time they switch, so get used to it. Another partner jump here. This is actually the most precise partner jump in the run. Okay, secondary is good. So, that partner jump let me get to an area early that I wouldn't normally be able to access. So, that's gonna allow me to do things out of order, which will end up being a bit faster. A few more partner jumps here to get around. In a bit I'm gonna get double jump, and that'll kind of obsolete partner jumping a little bit. Thank you. Need to make a small detour here to activate this warp for later. So this room's tricky because I need to do a partner jump to get up to this ledge. Got it, okay. The window for partner jumps, it's pretty lenient. It's not, but it's not too uncommon to fail it either. I'm gonna heal. So I healed there and used both of my potions. So you might be thinking that like I'm out of potions. That's not too bad. But there's a really neat glitch in this game called the infinite potion glitch, where basically if you tap an item on the right side of your inventory and then tap a specific point on the touch screen, you just get access to potions. Nobody really knows why it works, but there's some theories. But basically, you can use that technique to get infinite potions at any time, and you're gonna see me doing that a lot for healing in this run. Oh, bad RNG. Like right here. That was the first time I did it. And we're entering the Sand Fortress. So there's going to be something coming up on one of these next screens, which is there's a giant sandworm in this area, and you can damage boost to get past it. I didn't get it, unfortunately. It sent me the wrong way, so I have to heal. Do that. It's fine, not a huge deal. So something I forgot to mention is I picked up double jump. And double jump combined with partner jump allows me to do quadruple jumps, like I just did, which lets me get up to the Kaiser Knuckle early. So on that menu, I equipped Kaiser Knuckle and Dart. Dart is a really good sub-weapon because you can cancel it by backdashing, which you'll see in a second. Ooh. Let's get up for Charlotte. This partner jump's a little tricky because you have to kind of go around a corner. There we go. That partner jump skips like half the area. And I opened up that ward because we are going to need to visit this area later. Nice little kick off the skeleton tower there. And I'm gonna kill these guys both to get through and to get the level up, which will help me a little bit in the next boss fight. This next boss fight is terrible. It's Astarte. She has the ability to do Temptation, which basically will, if I get hit by it, I have to reset, because it renders Jonathan completely useless. Nice. So I'm going to save before the fight. So to start off the fight, I'm going to dart cancel and just throw a bunch of darts at her, but that's not enough to kill, so I do have to get a few Kaiser Knuckle hits in. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad, but she did the Temptation attack, which is the hearts. The reason that's bad is because it gets rid of my buff. So what I did at the start of the fight was use an attack buff with Charlotte that let me double my attack with Jonathan. So now I got the upgrade that lets me push heavy blocks, and we are out of here. So coming up is going to be the hardest part of this run to do in a marathon. It's the big shop menu. So I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to go back to this work and get cursed on purpose. Because one of the quests, there's this guy in this game named Wind who gives you quests. One of the quests in this game is to get cursed. So I just got cursed. So now I'm going to go back to Wind while I'm cursed. And that will fulfill the quest. But there's something else in this game called Quest Glitch. Which is where on a certain screen of the quest, when you receive an item that you get for, like this. I'm getting the Blessed Ring and then quitting out of the menu by hitting Start. And I can keep doing this and keep getting Blessed Rings. It's really hard for me to talk and do this at the same time. So I'm gonna kinda shut up here. Okay. Basically, what I'm buying is just, I'm setting up my items for the rest of the run. Buy 9 tonics, which is still MP, 5 anti-potion, or anti-venoms, and then buy the Master Ring. So buying the Master Ring is a little confusing, because I'm gonna sell it right back. But there's a mechanic in this game called, so basically in the shop, every time you spend money, you gain shop points. And the more shop points you have, the more items he sells. So I buy the Master Ring to get more shop points so I can buy magical tickets. And some more items. Magical tickets are really useful because they send me back to this area, which will cut out on a lot of backtracking. Okay. So we're done with duping. For now. Actually, no, for the rest of the run. Wait, okay. I'm gonna safety save again, just to be sure. Okay, so that's a really hard menu to do and talk at the same time. So I apologize if the commentary was kind of weak there, but moving on. We're going to what's intended to be the first portrait. Here you get to see kind of what the rest of the run is going to look like. A lot of slide switching and a lot of shuriken usage. This is where I can kind of talk about shurikens, I guess. Shurikens are really powerful, probably overpowered. You shoot out 5 of them, I believe. And they kind of go in a downwards 45-degree angle. And they kind of destroy everything, as you can see me doing here. Oh, Nani? Thank you for donating for Japanese voices. Ooh, a nice copper plate there. This stream you just go over. It's not worth trying to kill the guys. Ooh, nice bet. Okay, that screen's impossible, but I did it. So we're going to be coming up on the next boss, and you'll see how powerful shurikens really are here. This is our boy Dullahan. And he's dead. Then pause, get the cutscene, okay. What am I doing? That was awkward. Menu god? So now I'm gonna be going to the what's it called? Land of Fools? Paradise of Fools? Something of Fools. Nation of Fools, that's it, that's the name. And right at the start I'm gonna be doing another quadruple jump to skip a good portion of the portrait. There we go. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not great. Oh, we made it up there, so it's fine. That screen's pretty tricky to get the correct cycle, as Jonathan Charlotte. This screen's also cycle based. I tried to go for a damage boost there that I found somewhat recently. It damages you up to the platform. So the whole reason we come here is because we need the cog item. You need that item to get into the tower. At least the way we're doing it. There is a theoretical route that skips all this. But it requires a trick that does 8 frame perfect inputs in a row. Heal. Healing there is kind of bad, but because I healed there, I don't have to heal on the next menu, so it isn't too bad. This is supposed to be a boss room, but there's a little oversight where you can just magical ticket out. So you can completely skip the boss there, which is Legion. Alright. So now we're going to be heading up the tower. The next boss, Stella, you can manipulate her, but it's very difficult. Probably the hardest trick in the run. There's like no way I'm going to get it. And yeah, I see it being brought up in chat. This game does have some really good music. Gonna open that warp for later because we need to come back to Clock Tower. Alright, there we go. Yeah, she didn't do the right attack for me to be able to manipulate her. So now I just gonna have to deal with the Yarnger. So yeah, I'm using these shurikens, and I want all 4 to hit, ideally. That wasn't too bad, I guess, for a non-manipulated fight. But this room is the one we wouldn't be able to get past without the cog. So in this room we have to do motorcycle minigame, or motorbike scooter game, which I'm infamously bad at. Here I do a little slash with Jonathan, and that's to break open that wall, you need to slash it 3 times. I didn't fail scooter game, which is good. I've done that in many a run. So I do take a slight detour here to pick up the slick boots. And these are really useful because they speed up my slide speed by I think 25%. I'm not sure on that though. They save a ton of time though. And here I'm bouncing on Charlotte's head to skip up a cycle each time. It's a pretty funny looking trick. And here I have to come back here for story reasons. Before I do the next portrait, but now I can just warp right back. So, something really bad can happen in this portrait, which has a name. Definitely. I'm also gonna heal, because I'm a scared little boy. Something really bad can happen that didn't happen, thankfully. And that's that the frogs can drop an item called the 1,000-year egg. And the reason that's bad is because it pushes the magical tickets to the right side of my inventory. Oh, okay. That was funky. So when I go to do infinite potion glitch, the magical tickets would be on the right side, and there was a chance that I would accidentally tap the magical ticket and warp back when I go to do infinite potion glitch. And that's happened to me way too many times. And it's an instant run killer. Because I have to buy another magical ticket and walk all the way back. I'm good. So this next area is interesting because it's in darkness, But if you tilt the DS a certain way, you can kind of see. Obviously not, because I just got hit by those frogs. Okay, let's heal. That sounds like a really good idea, actually. I originally wasn't gonna save for this before this next fight, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, but I died once in practice to this guy, so I'm saving now. This guy Dagon has a few different patterns he can give you. This is a good pattern. It wasn't great that he sucked up the water, because he has to refill it before his death animation can complete, but it's not really a big deal. Okay, I messed up. Whatever, not a big deal. You can do a trick to spawn that orb high while avoiding lag. For beating that guy, we get Toad Morph, which lets us morph into a toad. Here I'm going to stock up on tonics and high tonics for the rest of the run. I'm also going to buy the guitar. Why'd I pause? I'm going to buy the guitar, which seems like kind of a weird choice, because I already have Holy Claymore, which is a much better weapon. But the guitar does have a usage. That you'll be seeing later on. Here we morph into a frog to skip a little bit of Clock Tower. Clock Tower's pretty fun. There's a lot of cool movement on these gears and stuff. I'm gonna pick up this HP upgrade. This is just for the death fight. It makes things a bit safer. Hitting that shuriken and getting all 4 hits is pretty tough. This room is annoying for reasons like that and that. Yeah. Pretty difficult. Wow. The yellow Medusa heads petrify you, obviously. Oh my god. That was spooky. That's the classic Castlevania. Medusa head coming from right off screen. Anyway, this is Imp Bounce. I failed Imp Bounce. I'm sorry. Get up there, and here's a cool little trick to skip this final room. Go backdash off that platform. And I'm going to save before death, because even though I do have the infinite potion glitch, death does have an attack that can one-shot. Here you're going to be seeing the first usage of attack canceling. So the way I'm attacking so fast is by after it hits my attack connects, I do a backdash into a duck into walk forward. And that allows me to get a ton of damage out. Okay, so he switched forms. Now that's not great. And now he's doing the attack that one-shots me. If I get grabbed here, I'm dead. Okay, didn't get grabbed. That was a little scary. But we're past death, so that's good. And there I grabbed In Boost, which is one of the most important abilities in the run. Because it increases the power of sub-weapons, and shurikens are sub-weapons. So for pretty much every boss from here on out, I'm going to be using that. Boost, please. Heal, please. So the next boss coming up is Sisters. It's the most annoying part of this run by far. The way this works is you need to have Charlotte stand still and cast a spell for a couple of seconds and not get hit. And the Sisters have 5 different attacks they can use. And if they do one of them, then there's nothing I can do. I have to reset. There's no way for me to win the fight. So obviously I'll be safety saving. Did I equip Sanctuary? I don't remember. I didn't get Sanctuary. Oh my god, I got sidetracked. That's not a huge deal, actually. So we're doing things a bit out of order of how we usually do them. But that's fine. So what I was supposed to do before I went to Clock Tower was go here. Because this is where Sanctuary is, and that's the spell that I need to cast to be able to beat Sisters. If you just beat Sisters, like attack them normally, you get the bad ending. Oh, I got a coffee drop. That's fun. So in this room you need to enter as Jonathan, and when you skip the cutscene you'll be on the left side. That's a cool little speed tech. If you skip the cutscene while you're Charlotte, you spawn on the right for some reason. Oh yeah, I need to equip Toadmorph. So this is what you need Toadmorph for to get into here. And now I can copy a magical ticket. And now we're ready to fight Sisters. Thankfully I opened the warp, so I can just warp right back there. Get up there, please. And we're gonna equip Sanctuary. I've lost way too many runs to forgetting to equip Sanctuary. And anyway, here's Sisters. Please give me a good pattern. Okay, cool. I can work with this. So now I'm going to walk back and forth here to manipulate Stella, who's the red girl, to stop, or to not attack. And Sanctuary. And that's Sisters. Thankfully they gave a good pattern. They usually do, it's just there is the chance that they don't. So now we're into the portrait rush. You need to do these 4 portraits in a row to be able to beat the game. Oh my god, 6 combos. So the mummies spawn randomly, so that was a really bad pattern. I couldn't really have done much about that. So coming up there's going to be another giant worm. I'm going to introduce here and hope he doesn't burrow. He didn't burrow. That's a small fix. That let me crit kill him in 1 cycle. And get down into the deep ruins. And we're going to do the final partner jump of the run right here. Nice, got it. And this one gets me item that has a name. Definitely has a name. But it's the one that lets me do the big uppercut. So now partner jumping is pretty much obsolete, because I can gain infinite height with the uppercut. I'm gonna go for a trick here. I'm gonna try and do the special attack to go through that boulder. I got it. Nice. You can beat that guy, but it's faster, or not faster, but more consistent. Just wait for him. And then this one is the big jerk who killed my run one time. Thankfully didn't cause any problems. So for this next boss, I'm actually going to not be using shurikens, I'm going to be using darts. Because I'll be right up against the wall, so I can just dart cancel. I am going to save though, because this boss does have a few nasty attacks. And by now, I am pretty under-leveled. The stuff's going to be killing me in 2-3 hits. I also should equip darts. That's a good thing to do. So I'm going to increase, and then throw darts. Heal. Okay, pretty good fight. I'm going to Dark Academy. So I'm using the uppercut to go over the screen instead of dealing with all the enemies, which would be nightmarish. Thankfully, if there isn't a ceiling, which there isn't in this room, you don't bonk. So you can just kind of keep uppercutting. So another thing that uppercut does that allows us to break sequence a little bit is we're supposed to get something called the Owl Relic in this game to be able to get up on the text screen. That was kind of the intent of how you're supposed to do this, but because we did the partner jump to get uppercut early, we can just kind of skip having to do that whole thing. Also re-equip shurikens because I'm going to be using them on the next boss. Boost to the final guard, he walked forward, that's very good. That was a mistake. I was supposed to switch there. Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna be a scared boy again and heal. I'm gonna save before this next boss because with the strat I do, there's one attack he can do where if he does it, everything just goes horribly wrong. And you have basically no choice but to reset or waste a ton of resources. So hopefully that doesn't happen. It didn't happen. He is doing this with us though, which is very annoying. Right. Good fight. So now at the beginning of this next area, I'm going to be equipping the guitar, which I bought earlier. And the reason I'm doing this is because the Guitar special ability, or special attack, what you do by doing a double tap and then attack, teleports you forward a little bit, and there's a train on this screen that you're supposed to push, but that's really slow, so you just warp around it instead, like that. That was a mistake, I switched one too many times. This area kinda sucks because there's a lot of randomly moving enemies. Go over that guy, which is very useful because fighting that guy would be suffering. Hard. That's a good drop. Not really, it doesn't do anything, but I like getting a hard drop. Another safety save. We are going to be equipping darts one more time. I should also equip Holy Claymore, that would help. Because on the werewolf we're also going to be dart canceling. Boosting intelligence. You can get a quick kill on this guy, but it's pretty tough. He went into the foreground, so I didn't get it. I need to heal. Keeps going into the foreground, dude. Unlucky. I've never seen him do that twice in a row. Crazy. So now we're into the final portrait of the Portrait Rush, the Burnt Paradise. All the portraits, why am I up here? What am I doing? Are kind of like remixed versions of the other portraits that you went through the main game. This one obviously being Nation of Fools, based on Nation of Fools. Wow, I didn't even see that guy. That was insane. You need to remember that I'm playing this on like an original DS, so it can be kind of hard to see sometimes. Small things like that. That's my excuse for all my mistakes this run, including forgetting the route. The tiny screen. We're gonna heal. That's a good idea. Uh-oh. I fell. And we're gonna save, because coming up is Medusa, who, if you do her right, doing her right is kind of like the hardest boss in the game, I think. Aside from the final boss, of course. So that attack's pretty neat. If you're looking at her while she does it, you get petrified, so you have to look away. Which is a neat little high IQ reference. Pretty good fight. So that's the portrait rush. Ooh. Don't hit me. Okay, thank you. Up next is Bronner. And Bronner is a very not good fight, because he can poison and curse you. He's the main reason I bought all those anti-venoms and anti-curses. He also does this attack, which petrifies you if you get hit. And he draws on the screen, which is a neat little DS reference, I guess. This attack curses you if you get hit by it. Cursing drains your MP, by the way. I guess I should probably mention that at some point. Alright, not a terrible fight. This next cutscene you can't skip for some reason. So you get to see my sick mashing skills. And we're gonna go back and save before the final boss. Because the final boss of this game is quite a doozy. It's Death and Dracula. Pick up this final MP up, which will let me throw more shurikens in the fight. So yeah, I need to dodge the attacks from both Death and Dracula, so this fight's really chaotic. Death has his anti-air attack that he likes to use. I need to heal. If I'm dead. Yeah, I was frames away from being dead there. That was spooky. Yeah, that's phase 1. So phase 2, there's an AI manipulation you can do. But I'm gonna attempt. Actually, I need to recover my MP first. So by going behind Death like that, you can manipulate him into doing this attack. Why'd I train him? Oh, no. Okay, that's fine actually. So I have to go behind him every time, which is really tricky to do with Jonathan because his jump isn't that high. And if I do the uppercut, I'll bonk on the ceiling, which wastes time. It makes it harder to do them enough. It's still my preferred method of getting over. So time is gonna be when on the fade out after Drac dies. Okay, so I messed up the AI minute, which is a little unfortunate because now he's doing this attack which wastes a bunch of time, and will kill me in one hit if it hits me. Thankfully though, it's an opportunity for me to refresh my int up. I can easily start the minute. Alright, and get ready on time. And time. Alright, so that was a pretty good one. Sorry my commentary sucked. I'm doing this one at SGDQ, and I'll have actual commentators there who will help me out with explaining stuff. Yeah, that was a sub 50 on my end. I don't know what the marathon timer says. That's a really scary one to do. Especially that final boss, because he has a lot of attacks that combo and one hit you. So yeah, I'm doing this one at SGDQ. That's going to be really cool. Shoutouts to Ibuki Miyota for always being there for me. I'll see you later. Thanks for having me.